Hello everyone, Tigress here, and welcome back to another video here on the Destinesia Studios channel. Today we are doing something a bit different. This is something that I, for one, have never done before, but I'm really excited about it. As we all know, Memory Lane ended about, 3 months ago or something like that, and we are now in this new era of CYBORG, the new series that is going on now on the channel. And as I've said before, it has totally new directors in it. I'm not the director of this project. The people working on it are Orchard Blaze and LRM Debris. Really highly recommend go check out the first episode now. It is really awesome. Like I got chills watching it the first time, so make sure you check that out. But this video isn't necessarily about CYBORG. It is about you. That's right, I just pointed to you, the viewer. I am going to attempt to do a how-to roleplay series here on the channel. My guide to how to craft a Minecraft roleplay. I'm going to be covering everything from starting the idea from scratch to writing the plot and characters. I'm going to be explaining story writing elements there, and I might even dive into the actual game and recommend some add-ons, mods, things that I've worked with for Memory Lane. Obviously, I'm not going to cover all of that in one video. Like I said, it's going to be a series of separate episodes, you could say, where I'm going to be, like I said, giving my guide to Minecraft Bedrock roleplay. Obviously, this is all based off of my opinion and my experience, so it's not law, but a lot of the things that I'm going to be saying, especially when it comes to the story writing aspects, it's going to be my very strong opinion. Like, I'm going to highly recommend you go with this, because whether people realize or not, there's a science behind writing. There is a way that you can write things and write your characters and your plot, so that way it can pull the viewer in. And I'm going to be explaining that once we get to that. But hold on, stop right where you are. Yes, I'm going to be showing you how to do a Minecraft roleplay. Yes, you probably clicked on this video because you are interested in doing that. But I do want to say a few things and give a few warnings. If you are the type of person who has a short attention span, maybe you're a serious procrastinator, or you just can't stick with things, or maybe you just don't think you'll have the time for this, don't even do it. Don't even get involved in Minecraft roleplay, because it takes up a lot of your time. It's a lot of work. I will be the first one to admit that. That is something that I had to ask myself when I was first doing Memory Lane, is that I was like, okay, I really want to do a Minecraft roleplay series, but it's going to take up probably a lot of my free time, if not all of it. Am I okay with that? And the answer was yes, I was fine with that. I, at the time, had nothing I was really doing in my free time. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And of course, I had also a very unique schedule at the time that enabled me to work a lot on Memory Lane. I think it's why we had the upload schedule that we did. But if you are having any doubts, any at all, maybe like, oh, I can do it right now, but I have this coming up in a few months, maybe I shouldn't, don't even do it. There have been, or I have seen, multiple creators here on YouTube where they are Minecraft roleplay content creators. They start a series and then halfway through they cancel it because they don't have enough time. They don't have all the resources they need. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that some things come up in life and schedules change, and maybe you do have to cancel things for serious reasons. But I'm just talking about the people who they get an adrenaline rush and they want to start doing this project without even really thinking about all the hard work, the hard hours, the late nights that are going to go into this project. So just keep that in mind. Another thing you're going to have to realize, and a question you're going to have to ask yourself, is if you are just doing this to try and become the next popular Minecraft roleplay content creator, this is not for you either. You should be making your series because it's a story you want to share with the world, not because you just want to gain views and subscribers from it. This is again another question I had to ask myself was, if I create this whole series and I don't gain a single subscriber, or if I only gain like 10, will I be okay with that? Will I still feel alright having put all that work into the project? And surprisingly, the answer I actually got from myself was yes. I was going to be okay if I didn't grow at all. Because, like I said, it was a story. Memory Lane was a story, an idea that I wanted to share with all of you. I did not want to climb in the social ladder of this community. So, really ask yourself those questions. Do I have the time? Will I be able to have the focus and determination and drive to get through this project and to put in the hard work? Do I actually want to do this project because I love my story and want to share it with the world? If your answers are no, then just click off this video, because I hate to say it, I hate to maybe even sound mean, but this project, you getting into this is just not for you. Okay? I'm sorry. The truth hurts sometimes. But with that out of the way, we can finally get into the actual video. Yay! Okay, so like I said before, a lot of what I'm going to be saying is my strong opinion. It's not law, but I really seriously believe that this methods of what I'm doing works. Whether people realize it or not, or whether people choose to go with it or not, it's totally up to you. But this is just my guide to Minecraft roleplay. So in order to start, we need to figure out what type of roleplay we're doing. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you have an idea already, but I'm just going to, for the sake of the guide, assume you don't, and you want to do something, but you don't have all the details or ideas. First off, I think you have to figure out what type of roleplay are you doing. Are you doing a full-length roleplay with like a serious plot, serious characters? It's gonna be suspenseful, just that type of roleplay. Or are you doing more an episodic roleplay that's more just maybe like a neighborhood roleplay? I guess an example of this would be It's Funny's neighborhood roleplay from The Crew, where there's no serious plot. It's mainly just a bunch of smaller dramas and just little things to it's super lighthearted and made just for fun for the viewer. There's not really any tense, serious moments. So you're gonna have to figure out in between those two which roleplay or which box your roleplay falls into. If you're going to say episodic, then I'm probably not going to be covering that type of roleplay until later on in the series. If, however, you chose serious, very character-driven, plot-focused roleplay, then that is what the main focus of this series is going to be. So, here we go. The next step on the How to Craft the Roleplay guide is you need to figure out what genre your roleplay is, or decide on a genre if you still don't exactly have an idea. There are lots of different types of genres you could do. I mean, you have contemporary, which would be like just realistic, everyday, like a typical high school roleplay, high school idea. That would be your contemporary. It could be medieval fantasy, that's kind of self-explanatory, where everything is medieval themed. Could be fantasy elements, stuff like that. You could also have a sci-fi contemporary roleplay. Memory Lane is a great example of this, where it takes place in present day, but there are just some science fiction elements to it. And then there's also actual, like, more sci-fi space, which I have not really seen that genre at all when it comes to the Minecraft roleplay community. I mean, I can partially understand why I haven't, but I would love to see something like that. Maybe there is one out there and I just have not seen it. You guys can tell me in the comments. But I would love to see a really good, like, character-driven, heavy plot roleplay that's in the sci-fi space genre where it takes place in like a space world and just universe, something like that. I think that would just be so interesting. So someone, please, someone, make something like that. I would love to see it. I have one other genre I could think of. I don't really know what name it would be, but just if you have something more pirate themed, again with the space theme, I feel like I haven't really seen something with that theme going on. I feel like, if I'm being honest, if I look up Minecraft roleplay, I feel like all that pops up is like high school roleplays, medieval fantasy roleplays, maybe a sci-fi contemporary. Okay, this is where I'm just gonna say, go crazy, go be creative and just think of anything and everything. I'm not trying to be mean here or trying to not necessarily criticize people, but I feel like nowadays all people try to do is take ideas that have worked before for other people and thinking that since it worked for other people, it'll work for me. And I seriously feel like all I see are, like I said, the high school role plays and the medieval fantasy role plays. I maybe here and there I'll see a random idea, but I just feel like people need to be a bit more creative. Like the sky's the limit. You can do pretty much anything you want. Yes, you're in the balance of Minecraft and whatever mods you can get your hands on, but if your plot is good enough, no one's gonna really care about that aspect of it. Just do anything. Like, just be creative, be original, come up with your own ideas. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discredit some of these people who have done this. Like, I'm sure there are some high school role plays out there that are genuinely good and have really good plots, but I would like to see something new. I feel like maybe that is a big problem of why this community has kind of died. It's because we don't have that originality anymore. I don't know exactly where that came from, but anyways, be creative is what I'm just saying. Like, you can do anything and everything. Literally, the only limit you have on yourself is yourself. So go crazy. The next thing that you will probably have to figure out for your roleplay is whether or not it's going to be a shorter series with maybe 1, maybe 2 seasons, or is it going to be a full running roleplay like Memory Lane that has multiple seasons, has seasons ending in cliffhangers, stuff like that. This is just something you're gonna have to figure out just for writing purposes. I feel like a lot of it hinges on how much time you as an individual have, because maybe you might have the time now, but you know down the road you won't. So maybe that's why you choose the smaller, shorter series. If you have the time and energy, I personally think you should go for long-running roleplay series. I feel like that's another thing we lack in this community, is just long-running series. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that long-running series are a lot of work. Memory Lane spanned the course of like a 1.5 years of just constant work, if I'm being honest. It took up a lot of time. Then again, at the same time, I did plan from the very beginning that Memory Lane was going to have 7 seasons. I've said that before. But I feel like we just need more role plays that have a good amount of seasons in them. You need, for one, having a series with multiple seasons will keep viewers coming back if you don't make them wait too long. If you have more seasons, you can then just really expand your plot. You can kind of do whatever you want if you think that you can condense it down to whatever you have set. I think the 2 reasons why we don't have long-running series on here in this community is because, for one, the work, like I said, like a lot of people genuinely don't have the time to do it. Or maybe, just maybe, we're all afraid we're going to be accused of copying a certain someone. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Don't have to say the name. And that's where I'm going to say, again, just be creative. The only limit on yourself is yourself. If you really want to do it, make a long-running role play. Like I said, if you have multiple seasons and people waiting for those seasons, you're going to have viewers coming back. You can have those cliffhanger endings. You can have dramatic, suspense-filled just eras of your series. Because that's basically what I was doing when I first came up with the idea of Memory Lane. I knew that I wanted to make a long-running series with multiple seasons, so that way a viewer on the last season can look back on the rest of the series and be like, whoa, a lot happened, a lot changed. It's literally been the story of someone's life. And that's basically what you want to do with your roleplay. You want to create a story that just people can get absorbed in and just grow to love and just keep coming back to. And I personally feel like with the long-running series, it's so much easier to do it if done correctly. So yes, if you have the time, do the long-running series. It's a lot of work, but if I'm being honest, it just leaves you with so much satisfaction at the end. That's how I felt when we finished Memory Lane. I was looking at like all the seasons. I'm like, wow, guys, we did it. We actually did it. We made a 7-season long series. Even if you are doing a long-running series, that doesn't mean you have to have like a gazillion episodes in each season. You can have only like 5 or 6 episodes. They can be maybe longer episodes, but you don't have to do too much. You don't have to do as much as people may think. You can get rid of some of the smaller, unnecessary drama that tends to fill a lot of episodes nowadays. You can just dive into your main plot and just really work on it and grow it. Now, don't get me wrong, you need the subplots. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but just really consider the long-running series, guys. I would love to see more of them here on this community, but I feel like we don't have them. So really, consider them. So, in review, what do we have? Well, by now, you should know what type of roleplay you're doing, whether it's a full-length roleplay or an episodic roleplay. You should also know by now which genre your roleplay falls into. By having the genre, you kind of know already what story you're going to have, thinking even further ahead, what mods, add-ons, worlds you might need, stuff like that. And by now, you should know whether you're going to have a shorter series with a couple of seasons or a longer series with multiple seasons. But I think that's probably going to close out this introduction video. I think probably next video, I'm going to be diving into the whole story writing and plot writing. That's gonna be a fun video for me. It's gonna be kind of difficult to cover, but I'm really looking forward to it. Hope you guys stick around for it as well. And like I said, in the future, we're also going to be covering the various other things that entail with Minecraft roleplay. I hope you guys stick around for it. I mean, this series is for anyone, whether you're a viewer here on Destinasia who's curious about how I wrote Memory Lane, or if you're someone who is actually starting a series and you would like to know what to do or someone's opinion on what to do. This series is for anyone. So with that, I think I'm going to be signing off. I hope this video was a help to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, make sure to be looking out for the next episode of CYBORG coming out. I don't exactly know when it will, but hopefully soon. Continue to show your support for that series. But I think that's it.